best possible walk for your dog, and hence also for you, because I think if you are like me, if your dog is feeling good, you're feeling good. So I'm going to share this beautiful video, which is made up of videos from our level 2 students. Hold on, with some sum up. So bear with me. Okay. Share. I think, hopefully, yeah, I can see both screens. Okay, it's without sound, and I'm going to talk you through it and stop and talk while the video is on. So the purpose is walking your dog the best possible way for your dog and for you. And then we need to walk on a loose leash, and we recommend always minimum 3 meters. You are, of course, allowed to shorten the leash when you're passing others on your walk. We're still not supposed to have our dogs jump on people and other dogs, you know, whenever they want to. They have to learn how to behave in our society. There's a lot of people that are either afraid of dogs or don't like dogs for various reasons. So we have to take care of our dogs and make sure that we're not bothering other people with our dogs. But to give a longer leash when you're using a longer leash when you're walking, and this is why you should watch the videos, all the recordings from last week, and we explain why in detail why we should use a long leash. But in short, it gives the dog more freedom to do natural behaviors like sniffing, showing their language, their body language, and to communicate with you and other dogs or people, whoever they meet. So in turn, that also helps your dog being less reactive on leash. Okay, longer leash is the same as less reactive also. If you have a dog that is very reactive on leash, you have to probably help him with his fears or whatever he's experiencing when he's lunging. But start with changing the equipment using the longer leash. It's not less control. I think we're fooling ourselves with thinking that a short leash is more control. Actually, every day I see that's proven wrong. Yesterday, when I was walking my own dog in a small town, I saw other people walking their dogs on a short leash, and they did not have more control of their dog. They actually had less. So long leash, minimum 3 meters. And you can shorten the leash when you are passing other people, of course. And we always recommend a harness. A well-fitted harness. What you should do is you should actually take your dog to the pet shop or wherever you buy the harness and try on different ones to find the one that is fitting your dog perfectly. What happened? It was a bit quick. Hold on. I'll stop the video and no, that didn't work. No pulling. Okay, the point is that the longer leash, the less pulling. Because you allow the dog to move more freely around you. And yesterday I was actually observing a woman. She was here when I was out driving. She was walking her dog, German Shepherd, probably a very young one, looked young, curious, a lot of energy. She walked him on a very short leash. And I passed by her when I was going to my destination and on my way back. And she was struggling so much. And I thought to me, I really wanted to stop the car, roll down the window and say, please do yourself a favor and your dog a favor and put on a longer leash. Because that would have been so much better if it was a long leash. And she was even walking on a field. So if you don't want, or you can't have your dog off leash, you can have a really long leash and your dog will be less reactive and more calm. The only thing that dog wanted to was to sniff around, but he wasn't allowed to because the leash was too short. Let your dog observe. If your dog stops and observes something, to look around when you're out walking, that's a good thing. We want dogs that are curious. Dogs that are curious are less afraid. And they also build confidence by being allowed to be curious and investigate whatever is happening in the environment. And they need to see what's going on. You know, they have a different way of seeing than us. They have more, they're able to see more to the sides, almost behind them, depending on the breed. And also the hearing is so much better than ours, and not to mention the smell. So it's a lot of impressions for your dog to take in. When he stops and looks around, there's a lot of impressions. And if you are calmer and less stressed, your dog will become calmer and less stressed. So when he stops, you should stop. So the right equipment and your behavior has a lot to do with how you're walking your dog or how the dogs are being walked. Let your dog be a dog. I'm not saying that you should let your dog dig a hole in people's garden, but let them sniff, let them pee when they're outside, let them dig. Like here, it's a good example. This is in the forest. This is great. The dog is enjoying himself. And the walks is for enjoyment, isn't it? It's for enjoyment, investigation, of course, also for going to the toilet for the dogs, and for exercise. So it's not that important. It's more important what you do on your walk than how far you walk. I'll talk about that a little bit later as well. And when you start observing your dog, when you are not on your mobile talking to your friends, which I think your dog actually deserves your attention on the walk. This is one of the few times during the day when your dog is together with you by himself, and they earn our intention. I think they should get our attention. We should be there with them, not on the phone with our friends, not looking at the phone. You can take your phone with you, but don't use it. Be there for your dog. And if you have a dog, especially if you have a dog, not especially, but if you have a dog that is also lunching or having problems with walking on leash, then definitely not use your phone. You have to observe your dog so that you can avoid problems when you're walking on leash. So we know why we should let our dogs sniff, how much difference there is in the pulse, and how much more relaxed the dog is becoming when it's allowed to sniff, to stop and sniff and finish sniffing whatever they are sniffing. It's very important they're allowed to finish sniffing. If they're never allowed to finish sniffing, just start, and then the owner commands the dog to continue walking, that can actually increase the stress level and the pulse. Pulse is increasing when you're stressed, so the stress level. So this is very important. And you know, these things, they are universal. That's why, like I said, these are videos from our students in level 2 in different countries, different dogs, but they all wear a nice fitted harness and a long leash, and they stop and let their dog sniff. Follow your dog. Let your dog choose the direction. Of course, not in the middle of a road or something, but if you are walking in the woods or wherever you can allow your dog to choose the direction, I think it's fair enough that we do let him. You are doing this walk for your dog, isn't it? So let them decide. And also walking together with friends, socializing, that's a nice way of socializing. Socializing is definitely not all about playing. Playing is a very small part of it. Not all dogs like to play even. So walking together, eating together, sniffing together, sleeping and resting together, it's all part of being social. So just calmly walking with your dog and another dog, that's a nice social activity in addition to being outside and exploring. Again, as you can see from the films, stop walking when your dog wants to sniff. And slow down. Oh, I can say so much about that. We need to slow down. Our steps are a lot bigger than the dog's steps, especially the smaller dogs, the smaller breed and the smaller size of the dog, the smaller the steps are. So a lot of our dogs are not able to walk. They always trot. We condition them to trot instead of walking. And they should do all different kind of gaits. Not only walking, not only trotting, not only galloping, running. They should do different gaits. That's so important. And they should be allowed to do it by choice. So if we are more relaxed, and I'm really, I've done this for 20 years with my own dogs. And believe me, I'm not the typical relaxed person. And I have been busy. I've been short of time when I go out with my dogs. And every time, if I'm stressed, the dogs are more stressed. If I'm relaxed, the dogs are more relaxed. That's how it is. Yep. Beautiful video, I think, showing us that it's really possible, no matter what country you are, or no matter what kind of dog you have. So, to sum up, hold on. I need to share my screen again. Here are some of the main points that you should take into consideration when you're walking your dog for your daily walks. Say you have a dog that you're lucky to keep for 14 years. If you go out with your dog 3 times a day on average, you are out walking your dog approximately 15,000 times. And you want that to be 15,000 good memories, 15,000 enjoyable walks with your dog. 15,000 times you are there with your dog, giving him what he needs, and then because he's giving you a lot of what you need. So in all fairness, the walks should really be for our dogs. First of all, let them sniff. So stop when the dog stops and let him sniff. Walk slow. Teach yourself to walk slow. Pay more attention to how you walk. Also, they have to, of course, be able to run freely by choice. So the ultimate best thing for your dog is obviously to be off leash somewhere where he can choose if he wants to run, for how long he wants to run, and so on. So as much as possible, give your dog a chance to be off leash in a safe environment. So it's up to you to find places that this can happen. Also, when walking slow, no, sorry, that's coming. This is the one. We need, or dogs need, redirectional movement. It means they need to move their body in different ways. This is what they do when they are sniffing, or when they're sniffing or in an enriched environment. So if you walk onto things, down, up, step on something, go underneath something, to move your body slowly. Walking in a straight line on the same kind of surface like asphalt, or pavement, concrete. I mean, that's okay to do once in a while, but that's really not how they should walk every day. And definitely not in a straight line. They have to be able to go and sniff and go next to you, behind you, in front of you, doesn't matter. They are supposed to, or they should be able to walk freely in a certain space to you. So if you have 5 meters leash, that's the space you give him. We need the leash because we're living in this kind of society we do. That's the only reason why we have to. It's for safety for your dog and for other people and animals around us. So walking slowly, letting them sniff, stretching their neck and body, and move in different ways. So vary your places to walk. We talked about enriched environment, which is also important. An enriched environment can be also to go to somewhere we haven't been before. There's a lot of new smells and impressions in a new place. So I suggest to go at least once a week somewhere where you have not been before with your dog. You don't have to drive to a new town. It can be just you go to there. I guarantee you there's a lot of places in your own area very close to home that you have not been before. So walk in new places at least once a week and vary your walks, not only payments, but if you're able to take your dog in the car and maybe go to the forest or the beach or the mountains, depending on where you live, the different ones. If you live in a city, you need to walk a lot on pavement, so it's very important that you also take your dogs to parks so they can walk on grass and other surfaces. Walking the same walk route every day for 15,000 times, that's really boring both for you and your dog, and they deserve better. Adjust your walks to the dog's age and the individual dog. If your dog has pain somewhere, or if he's stressed or fearful and you're training him, then you need to consider that. So there is no black and white answer. There's no one fits all to how long the walk should be. You need to adjust it to the individual dog. And puppies should not go for walks. They can go for long walks because they're forced to, because they are scared to lose you. So it's not like they're not able to, but for their sake, for their health sake, mental and physically, don't walk young puppies. You move. You can take your puppy to many different places and let them move around freely. Don't force them on a lead to walk. Use the right equipment. Don't use an equipment that is making your dog uncomfortable or on purpose even is meant to punish your dog for pulling or something. You need to train. It's your responsibility to train your dog to walk on a leash. Maybe you need to get some help to train that in a nice, proper way, not by force or any I forgot the word, punishment. So it's very important that the harness is a well-fitted harness to your dog. If not, it can also potentially make a lot of damages. Okay. So I wish you a very nice evening and thank you for listening. Bye.